And I want to post on your Facebook though, because I don't have my laptop. Uh-oh. It's showing the computer. Damn it. I didn't have this ready. I didn't have it ready. Copy. I should have done this first.
Jesus.
Hey, wait, that's that hot tub thing, right?
No, this is a different part. Wait, is it? Yeah, no, that's her.
So she uses a fake thumbnail?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, well, we're streaming.
Why do they always just show me this just chatting stuff? I don't even care if people hear me complaining right now. Like, this is just... why even? What's the point?
I'm not
It's
sure.
literally like people complained about... You know, like, people not playing video games on Twitch, so
And
they
then
just created a section for that.
Yeah, because remember in the beginning, you would actually get, like, I don't know if you would get
You would get
banned
strikes.
Yeah, you get strikes for not playing a game. Because that's when... yeah, I know, we're not even playing the game right now. But that's when the people would have the webcam or the DSLR or whatever as the full screen and a tiny, some sort of auto-playable
With, like,
kind of
a
game.
GIF playing.
Yeah, all
at
the way in the
points.
corner.
Yeah. Alright, so we're live right now, right?
Yes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dolphin Quest stream, and yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. Welcome back to this. Today we are going to be doing some Friday Night Funkin' because, well, some of my students told me that I should try it out, so in order to oblige them and, you know, just try the game out, really. But honestly, there's other reasons. So me and Eve, we're both early 90s born people. So that being said, our come up on the internet was, what, mid-2000s, early to mid-2000s, really, for the most part, like when we were most active. So in other words, things like Newgrounds and Flash animation and stuff that looks like this, essentially.
Yeah, I didn't have internet at home, like reliable internet at home, until like 2001, 2002, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
that's pretty early. Like, alright, so let me... So, I think I told you about this, but when I had a computer in my room, I had to drag a phone cord all the way from downstairs to upstairs. It was like a 200-foot-long cord.
Right, and yeah, we had one computer, the family computer that we all shared, but before that, the only things we would do is play computer games, like Wolfenstein and Doom and stuff like that. And then, when we got, the eMac, and it had, Unreal Tournament 2003 on there. Oh yeah, that was the good times, because then we upgraded and had DSL, so no more dial-up stuff.
So,
that was the worst,
I was always raised to think that DSL was a scam, which I think may be a possibility that it actually was. So, well, I don't even know, though, because I always heard, like, oh, high-speed DSL, it's high-speed dial-up.
Yeah.
Because, like, when did you get a cable modem?
2004, I want to say.
Okay, so I didn't get that until, like, I was going into ninth grade.
Okay, so in high school, so I had
2006.
So we had that in middle school, but for the longest time, we would have to do assignments that needed, like, computer research, and it's like, well, we can't use the internet, so we gotta go to the library.
Yeah.
And this is even dating ourselves even more. This was back when flash drives existed, but they were very expensive.
High school was when I got mine.
Well, same. So when I had my very own flash drive, but before that, for school projects, I needed to be able to save it at one place and work on it somewhere else. Hard disk drives, hard disk. Yeah. So the hard disk, and then we had zip disks too. So
floppy disk.
Well, floppy disk, but not when you say floppy disk. That's really the
yeah, but everyone knows that the 4-inch or 2-inch or whatever however many inches they were.
Yes.
That's what everyone called the floppy.
It was the hard floppy disk, the smaller one. Yeah.
That got me through elementary school.
Yeah.
No, just middle school. I didn't have to do anything. But then I went to high school, and I brought that in, and my teacher was like, my computer doesn't have a drive for that.
Yeah.
So then they told us about flash drives, and I think I paid $30 for like a 64 megabyte one. Sorry guys, we're getting air rated right now.
Don't say that.
We live close to an airport.
We're literally right behind you. Yeah, so, okay, we need to probably play the game a bit. So,
yeah, so we're not
quick,
doing the thing that I was just complaining
yeah, we're just chatting and we don't have it as chit-chatting. But we're more talking about, early internet days. So that ties back into Newgrounds. So back in the day, I would always want to watch All Your Base, of course, the Ultimate Battle of Ultimate Destiny.
Ultimate Showdown.
Ultimate Showdown, sorry. And then also, one of my favorite things was the showcase of Mortal Kombat finishers and stuff, because they also showed you how to do the friendships.
Yeah, so believe it or not, that was actually ripped directly out of Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and I don't know how they did that back then, but they did it.
They always had ROM files. But it's more to make it like a playable Flash kind of thing. But yeah, so this is a collab of a couple of people that have been on this site for a really long time. And it's kind of impressive seeing a website that is mostly Flash-based still running in 2021, and they have a lot of their old stuff. You can still watch it through a player that they made, so you can watch the old Flash videos and play the Flash games and stuff. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna do a playthrough of all the different songs. I'm gonna just do it on normal, because I can only really get through week 1 on hard, but maybe another time. But yeah, so over the course of the songs, you'll start to see like a little story form. But basically, you're interested in that girl, and her dad is an ex-rock star, apparently. So in order to win everybody over, you have to beat them in song battles.
You know what I noticed? You see how his feet are making that like M shape? That reminds me a lot of like the Powerpuff Girls and like the taller characters, how when they would stand, like that's how it would look.
What M shape?
Look at his heels. The dad.
Oh, the dad. Yeah,
the way
the
he's
heels
standing.
together. Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the thing. Alright, yeah, I mean, it really seems inspired like the old school, early 2000s Flash, like, stuff online. But yeah, so then, like I said, you'll see some references if you know some things about Newgrounds. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself. Oh yeah, also this is free on Newgrounds, if anyone's wondering.
2, 1, go!
Played DDR or its Flash equivalent of Flash, what is it, Revolution?
Yeah, FFR.
FFR, yeah. Or Stepmania, which is the superior version, but you have to have that downloaded.
Yeah, I mean, but that was like a big thing back in the day because there was also Frets on Fire.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they were like releasing a lot of these rhythm games, like not everyone could afford them. Because I remember the DDR games, despite the fact you could find them in any given Goodwill nowadays with probably like 6 mats with it,
Yeah.
they used to be really expensive.
Yeah, because it was bringing the arcade experience home. But yeah, what's different with this is you're not doing everybody's steps. You're only doing the stuff on the right-hand side. So I would say if they wanted to make this harder, they can make it so that if the computer, like gets a combo, which, the computer gets but the computer's like pushing the bar towards the right or something.
So kind of like the guitar battles in Guitar Hero 3. So yeah, I was gonna say, like, it seems like, you know, they really wanted to do this stuff, but also, it's funny because this is all really reminiscent of a time like when you could go to GameStop and if you didn't feel like playing just like a normal, like PlayStation game or something along those lines, they had so many like games they would sell with peripherals, whether it's like a driving wheel or like the Time Crisis games and everything. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm not like it's definitely cool, like the VR stuff that we have now, and like the PlayStation Move and all that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is there was just like a charm about being able to buy like those gun cons or you know what have you, and it works for like
yeah. And that you have to set up all those extra sensors and stuff.
So it actually wasn't too bad if you had a curved screen display, which everyone did at the time with CRT TVs.
Yeah.
What ended up happening is it would just work. It would work natively with it. It was when flat screen TVs started becoming popular. So like Dead Storm Pirates,
Yeah,
they
when
have
we
those
played that.
sensors and stuff on it.
That's a fun one though.
So you know the funny thing is when the kids were telling me about this, I actually kind of thought that this would be more of like a like visual novel type of thing when you're not like playing the game.
With the cutscenes. So that's what they want to do for the Kickstarters. They want to have full like animated cutscenes in between, kind of explaining like, oh, how are you getting to like the next location? Like, why are you doing all that stuff? So yeah, we can go to the Kickstarter after this.
Yeah, I mean we can definitely check that out. I mean it's definitely an interesting project, and I would like to see it go somewhere. Unfortunately, the one that we were talking about for FFR actually, you know, their site doesn't work anymore. And now I saw that there is a way to download the game, but I'm not sure exactly what that entails as far as the you know, songs and stuff goes. Because I remember the reason I got into that is because a friend of mine used to play it a lot when she wasn't playing World of Warcraft. No, it was Jack. But so yeah, she would play that a lot, and she was playing it was a mindless self-indulgence song, and then that's actually what got me into them as a band, because I really liked the song, and I really liked playing it because it wasn't too terribly difficult.
Oh, what's wrong? You're just focusing on me playing.
Yeah, I'm just watching you play. I mean, like, the animation is very, very, like, captivating, despite the fact that it's so simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my question is, what do you think about the fact that you know, they're kind of just making like the vocoded sounds rather than it being based off of an actual song?
Well, I think think it's better that it's that, because then it kind of reminds me of like Simlish, you know, how the Sims talk and stuff like that. But I think that's better because then you can kind of like think of your own lyrics or something like that. I'm not even thinking of any words, but it just sounds like it could be like a real song. On the Kickstarter, you can get a vinyl record that has these songs on them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
that might actually be worth it. That'd be cool to have.
Yeah, I think they might also try and do a couple of songs like as real songs, like have people doing the songs. So like right there, the spooky guys, those are Senor Paulo's like guys. I only know him from YouTube, but I guess you know he's the one who was talking about like, remember that tweet that Aaron Raptor made?
Yeah, I was actually just about to.
Yeah, like complaining about like animators and like bullying in animation. Or so, I don't remember the whole thing, but he basically was saying like, you know, that's kind of hypocritical coming from someone like you who got his start on Newgrounds, and then now you're bashing all these guys that are still trying to, you know, make animation, you know, not necessarily profitable, but something that is,
you know, still around. Like, see,
all that,
like when Flash died earlier this year, we almost lost all this stuff. If the people that ran those sites didn't do their due diligence, Newgrounds would be just another thing. It would be like, you know, MySpace or Zanga or, you know, all those things that people... Or AIM. AIM's a great one, because the whole thing with that is that at one point there was a way to retrieve your AIM conversations and save them. They're long gone now if you haven't done it.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with that is, you know, I don't like the fact that so many people take this attitude of, oh, X is my occupation, you are not allowed to talk about it.
right.
Because, like, the whole thing with, like, Aaron is that he has talked very much smack about very many people and then backpedals when it's convenient.
But it's not every single thing where, oh, let's just try and save up the games. There's some Flash stuff that people just weren't ever able to save. So, like, a lot of these Flash things are now kind of lost media unless someone, you know, like, recorded it, or if you were on, like, the one board on 4chan that was for Flash animation, you would save FLVs and stuff like that. Because I have a bunch, and then I have an FLV player, but it doesn't, so for those games it doesn't really work. It's more just for Flash, like animations and movies.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing about it, because I don't doubt that there was a lot of stuff that was lost, because if you look at it, like, there were so many countless just, you know, crappy anime of various types, like videos and games and dating sims and all types of things like that on Newgrounds, and the whole thing, it's like, why would they save them? I mean, yeah, you can say for posterity's sake or for archiving's sake, but really, when it comes down to it, it's like, are people going to be looking for it? I mean, not to mention if there are a couple things that might have been, like, slightly more notable that got lost, it's just going to give more YouTubers, like, things to make videos
about the lost video. Well, this would be like when someone posts one of those, like, tip of my tongue things, and it's like, oh, does anyone remember this Flash animation from so-and-so that was out around this time and stuff like that? And then people be like, yeah, but you're not going to be able to get to it again because, you know, Flash doesn't work. But then we were talking about how there's, like, a Flash button that some of the websites have been using. It's like an internal kind of... It just seems like some sort of, like, app launcher kind of thing. I don't really know how it works.
I think it's probably like a DOS box, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like, it's literally emulating the Flash environment and play stuff.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, it's going to be interesting going forward, and I bet on tip of my tongue, tip of my joystick, all those Reddit pages that try to find that type of stuff, I wouldn't doubt that within the next, like, maybe, like, couple, like, months or maybe a year or something, they might even release a statement just saying, like, hey, we realized we lost, you know, a lot of stuff on Newgrounds, so...
Yeah, and the other websites that would steal stuff from Newgrounds or had their own things hosted, you know, like Albino Black Sheep, E-Bombs, like, even, like, Miniclip had stuff, too. The old version of Addicting Games, all that stuff. We'll see. Yeah, I would think that they would probably say, like, if it's a Flash thing, don't ask for it, because it's probably not going to be able to be playable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that someone probably saved a fair bit of stuff, because there are people, like, when people say, like, oh yeah, this was shown once in South Dakota, and someone's like, oh yeah, I have a VHS of that. I just happened to be taping it, and sure enough, they have it. I mean, that's definitely cool when, you know, stuff like that shows up.
Yeah, it's like that one, remember how there's that, it's that older JoJo animation from, what is it, like, 2000?
Is it the OVA?
It's not the OVA. The OVA was from the 90s. And then, no, it was a different company, not Deeper Productions. It was a different company that did a, it's hard for me to think and do this.
Alright, there you go.
It was a different, I don't even remember if it's a different company, but it's a different animation, and it's a lost animation that only part of it exists that someone was recording it on their phone. I want to say it's from, like, I don't know, like maybe 2005, 2006 or something like that. It's before the part 1 animation in 2010. But it looks different. And it was going to be for, you know, part 1, but some different company animating it. But that's the thing. It's like someone had part of the recording. You would think that they would have the whole thing.
What is that?
Yeah.
Definitely has the weirdness factor of old Flash videos. You know, the funny thing, actually, no, speaking of, I can actually remember one video that was like kind of like a lost media type of thing that I've been looking for, because the whole thing is that it was very easily discoverable on old YouTube in like 2000. It was 2006-ish, I want to say.
So 1 year after YouTube was made.
Yes, exactly. The video was just a flash animation, and it was literally called The Best Cartoon Ever Created. And it's just a stick figure. Another stick figure comes up to him and hits him with a hammer, and then he turns into a, it's something guys have, and then it ends. And then that's pretty much it. But since then, like, well, yeah, because there's a billion videos out there now just called, you know, the best cartoon ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not even something that people made, because it would be like people's videos about, say, Samurai Jack or like Invader Zim or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that like has been lost media, at least to me, since like, it's got to be like 2011, because I was like, me and Tim were hanging out, and I was like, dude, I gotta show you this hilarious video I just remembered, and I couldn't find it.
Well, maybe one day we'll be able to find that.
Yeah, and there's this other video that was really weird too, but it's like, I want to talk about it, but I can't, because just the content, it's like, it's weird even talking about it, because it's not anything like super like vulgar or anything like that. It's just weird.
More weird than this one.
Oh yeah. It's definitely weird. Yeah, it's definitely weirder than that. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Maybe what I'll do, I'll post it on like tip of my tongue or something. But even then, people are gonna be like, what kind of soil videos is embedding into words on the channels?
Well, it's like the search for that, Punch, Saki Samabashi, which probably, or the farming game. Two things that probably don't actually exist, but people think that they remember it, but then, you know, is it actually just a thing where people wanted someone else to make it? And they're like, oh yes, that's exactly what I was wanting.
Well, so the whole problem with that is there's also people that definitely don't remember it, that are just trying to like throw a monkey wrench into the gears with it.
Wait, you're done.
Nice.
Alright. Now we're fighting, one of Newground's mascots. Yeah, and then like all the stick figure related stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Stick RPG and Stick RPG 2. I think we have an appreciation for this stuff because we also do not have phones that have, full games on them, like you can have now.
So, I mean, if we could talk about that, the funny thing is, like, having an appreciation for stuff like this comes from a very interesting place, and I feel like it's always going to be the story. So, I'm just going to talk about it, and then you can, like, tell me if I'm wrong with this. The reason why I miss this stuff the way I did is because I feel like I could have utilized it a lot more, but I just didn't. So straight up, like Newgrounds, I would go on there every now and then when I was younger and browse around and check stuff out and everything, but I feel like there were like years in between when, it was super popular and then started declining a little bit that I could have gone on there. But, in the I'd say like the early 2010s, like Newgrounds started getting like kind of bad apparently, which I don't even know because I wasn't on there at the time. But a lot of people, like the infamous thing I remember someone explaining to it, and this is someone that actually used it regularly, described it as a cesspool.
Yeah.
At the time, so I don't know exactly what he meant. I could only assume that a bunch of low...
Yeah, because I think part of the problem is a lot of people started transitioning over to YouTube because they realized, oh, I could get more people checking my stuff out. And then they would have the links to go back to Newgrounds. I mean, like, you and I had both separately watched, like, all of the, the awesome, like, Metal Gear Awesome.
And I didn't even know that was airing at the time. So that took me, like, years after watching Game Grumps, and then I was he called himself Ego Raptor, and I was like, wait. Oh, it's Natalie, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I said hi to her in my comment.
Good.
But hey Natalie, how's Charlotte doing? So also another thing, perfect example of this is like MySpace and the resurgence of Space Hay and everything. So the funny thing with that is, once again, I had MySpace and I kind of stopped using it when Facebook came out. But MySpace was still popular while Facebook was out and everything.
Yeah, at least for a couple of years.
But the funny thing with that is, like, and I know we were talking about this before, but being that no one else heard it, or just the fact that it's like, I went to Space Hey, I started, doing some stuff, and I can't figure out if it's not the same, and it's not the thing that I remember, or it's just not, like, or just, like, MySpace died back in the day, and I just had a tremendous amount of nostalgia for it.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the thing is there's some stuff on Space Hey that's missing compared to the original MySpace. And also, Brandon, wasn't the majority of the reason why you would be on MySpace is to play that Vampire Wars game?
Yeah, so that was, I think, alright, so if Space Hey was able to, kind of implement that type of stuff, that'd be awesome. But, the way that I look at it is, someone commented, and I posted, I said, hey, does anyone remember these games? Like, who thinks that, like a group of people would be able to, do this? And I wasn't saying, like, oh, someone make this, or hey, let's form a team or something, but someone commented and said, well, it would take a lot of time and money, and then they said, like, oh, are you looking to, like, hire people to do this? And I explained that, like, no, it's more just wishful thinking, and it's not exactly something I can just throw money at just to play this game and everything.
Yeah, do you remember who made that?
It was Zynga.
It was Zynga. It was Zynga that made those games. They still exist. But it's funny is they can easily make those games on their own. But I think the charm to that stuff is because we had this, we were watching that one documentary. With MySpace, you logged off. You were not on there 24/7. Now, of course, some people were, like, the like MySpace celebrities and stuff like that. But most normal people that were using it would log off at the end of the day, and then in the morning time or after school, you would check, like, you check your games, you check your comments, check your pictures, all that stuff. But now with Facebook, normal people are on there 24/7.
So
That's like the average person is on there all the time. You're always logged in. You're always getting a notification to always check it. All that stuff.
So the funny thing with that, it's funny that you mentioned that because we were talking about Vampire Wars and stuff like that. I logged into my MySpace like 3 years after logging out for one time, and I went into it probably wasn't even that long. I can't quite remember because that time, like, when I think back, I feel like a year felt like 3 years. Now it's just like everything goes by so quick, but
yeah.
So when I logged in, I had like trillions of units of blood, and then that was the currency in the game essentially. But the cool thing was there was not really much of a premium currency. So what I did, I literally took all those units of blood, bought more blood banks, and with that, like, I was like, oh, let's see if my money recovered. And then, like, because of how much I spent, I logged in the next day. It had, like, gone up, like, threefold from the day before. And then now it occurs to me, it's like, huh, if games still use that type of, that type of, like, architecture for its marketing model and everything, they would never make any type of money.
Yeah.
And that's why we have gacha games the way that they are and everything. Like, I feel like if gacha games were as popular back then as they are now, it would be way cheaper to play them.
Yeah, well, what you're describing is basically the standard currency that'd be like Zenny or the crystals in the game. Now, your vampire game did not have premium currency, did it?
It had premium aesthetics, you could buy. But that's it.
But it did not do anything to the game, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I like the like dancing MC, like camera.
Yeah.
Like vampire demon guys in the background. His girlfriend, you're interested. Demon
sitting on that amp for the past, like, 6 days.
Yeah, there's some comments we could make about that, huh?
The fact that it's a bass amp.
Yes. Bonk. So how's Natalie doing?
Doing good. We're just talking about Charlotte.
3, 2, 1, go!
Well, I guess we'll just make this little announcement. We finally did some overhauling on the house and everything. So when you guys saw us streaming last, we were in our dining room, which we don't actually use as a dining room. It's kind of just like a, arcade machine room / stuff room. But we started getting real serious about cleaning. So we put together the maker space upstairs. We took that couch. You guys probably saw me stream once or twice. There was a couch. Yeah, there was a couch behind me and everything, but that is now upstairs, and the game room's completely open, so it's nicer. I'm not gonna make a bunch of promises and stuff because I find
I'll make promises that we can't.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we've been trying to clean up a bit more, so that way it makes it easier when we actually want to do streams. And now we'll be able to have people over again and all that good stuff.
But yeah, lots of
chair's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Ow.
It'll pinch nerves if you're not
Ow.
careful.
Oh, I can't feel the lower half of my body sitting in this chair.
It's there.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, I can still move my legs.
Oh, this
Yeah. Yeah, I like some of the more jump style ones. Those are
the big thing for this if the company wanted to do something was make arcade cabinets that show up at places like round one and beaches and stuff. Yeah, it'd basically be PDR,
but just have these. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Oh, that's another thing they were talking about in Easter is that player. So you would be playing with someone like a real person.
well, they already have the setup.
Yeah, exactly. So then they're also saying that when you do player, the other person can be someone different and completely change how the song goes. So how it sounds like a different character. And
That would be really cool. And then you could customize the voice.
yeah, we'll figure out is this the last one? No, we're on
Right.
and then after that is the newest one, which is hosted on New Graphic right now.
Hey, there we go.
Whew. Starting to get the carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel. Yeah, that was 4. So we got 5. Yeah, it's 2 of them. It's like a Christmas one. And then the dating sim guy. And then Tank Man.
Yeah.
Getting freaky on a Friday night yet.
Brandon's old and he has to go to bed early.
It's not just a it's because I have a dog.
Also, iPod.
Yeah, I know.
I know, but this one has videos on it, I think.
Oh, does it?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Does the thing you picked up charge the iPod while it's plugged into it?
Oh yeah, it's fully charged now.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see who that is.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yeah, yeah.
And I assume those guys are also people from Newgrounds.
Yeah, I actually don't know who that is. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I know everything about it, because I really don't. I'm sure it's probably some of the more it's like back in the day, it would literally be like random one-off things. Kind of like, you're the man now, you just make random stuff and upload it. Not looking to create some sort of like brand or anything.
Well, so I guess I'll just put my 29-year-old boomer hat on.
Oh, you're saying your 2 cents in here, huh?
Well, more than anything, like everything nowadays is, I guess, not to commercialize, but to accomplish something. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just I'm doing this because I want to do this. By the way, the dad has terrible trigger.
Everybody in this universe is like that.
Yeah. So anyway, like the whole thing is like people would make stuff like back
Really just
in the
for
day
fun.
just for fun because
Yeah.
they want to release these videos. But now it's like it's become, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's become very accessible for people to attempt to make a career as a content creator, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, whether you're making animations and stuff. Unfortunately, animations is like the least likely to get you paid for anything.
Yeah, it's also the hardest one.
Yeah, exactly, and it takes the most discipline. I mean, the funny thing with that...
I like his Christmas outfit. He's got like Tim's on.
Yeah. Yeah, so really it's just like things don't have the same spirit that they used to, for the simple fact that no one really just does it to do it anymore. And it's a sign of the times, but it is what it is, really. I mean, we're never, there's never going to be like some time collapse where all of a sudden we all wake up back in 2004 again.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which is funny, because like when I say that, like, it's weird thinking about it, because there's a lot of younger people on the internet now. When I say like if we all woke up back in 2004,
It would not exist.
no, they wouldn't. Like basically anyone past like 2008 or like before 2008 would really be.
Oh, the thing is, though, I'll give the kids credit, like the kids that you teach at school, that they're interested in stuff like this. I mean, honestly, it's probably because of it was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's gonna be the thing. If they see it on TikTok, that's how they're gonna find out about it. But
That's okay. I
they're
mean-
at least learning about this kind of stuff, which is more of the nostalgic old stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I mean, even they're even listening to Bring Me the Horizon. Like,
I was just gonna say
they
that.
don't know that they are, but they are, because that's one of the popular songs that they use.
Yeah, exactly, which is the funniest thing, because I was talking to you about that the other day. I was like, doom scrolling through Facebook like I do once a week. And then like I come across stuff and it's like, people are arguing about Bring Me the Horizon. It's the craziest thing, because I remember that's all people used to do, because you'd have your metalheads and then you'd have your people that liked hardcore more, and they would sit there and argue nonstop. And then, of course, we have Attack coming back, which is like the whole thing. I mean, they're kind of just doing their whole thing where they're trying to be funny troll guys, and it's not really working out, unfortunately. I mean, so don't get me wrong, I love the fact that they're back and everything, but they definitely told everyone that they would be producing music that was like their first album, and it's yet to happen. Now they're doubling and tripling down, saying, oh no, that was just a taste of it. And it's like, dude, you guys released the album. What do you mean a taste? Do you have 17 B-sides you're releasing? And it's just like, I mean, like, also another thing is like, some of the older fans are kind of weird, just in the fact that they've liked this type of music for so long. And
they're older than you.
Yeah, some of them are older than me, but like, the weird thing about it is like, some of them still think that bands like this make like millions of dollars. I mean, like, yeah, if you're a day to remember Bring Me the Horizon, you is one of your members probably has a network over 1 million, especially a data room.
Separate you from your eyes to go from the
That's also because of like extra stuff. Like for instance, with Bringing the Horizon, Ollie Sykes actually runs a clothing line as well that's pretty popular in the UK because it's like basically UK streetwear, lots of striped sweaters and stuff like that. But because of that, you know, he has a net worth of over 1 million, but it's definitely not just because of his clothing.
Yes. Yeah, someone on the Game Junkies page today asked, like, so people actually buy games to, like, play them anymore? Or is it just to buy them to flip them later?
I mean, we don't have much room to talk. I mean,
No.
like, we don't buy games to flip them, but we have a ton of games that we haven't played.
Yeah, I know, we have a very, very large backlog, but I'm not one of those dudes that goes out and buys 10 copies.
You're not a dude at all.
Yeah, I'm not buying 10 copies of Doom 3 VR or, you know, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. There's no point in buying that many copies because, and it's funny because they unironically said, oh, well, in 10 years, I'll have a nice little nest egg. And then there was people
It's like,
on there.
bro, you're gonna be 50 in 10 years.
Or older. But people were like, you could have used that $500 to just invest in the stock market.
Dogecoin. You could have
Yeah,
bought
even
Dogecoin,
Dogecoin.
literally.
You could invest it in the meme coin, which actually has some value to it.
Which, by the way, don't do that right now. So everyone here's I am not a financial person or anything like that, so this is not advice, but it's just something I noticed. What's been happening with it is that it increases, then it decreases again, but it never goes below what the initial increase was before the decrease. So, or the initial base level was before the decrease and everything. So technically, right now, it's fairly safe, but it's buying in at 22 cents and selling at 30 cents unless you're buying like, you know, $100,000 worth at a time, then it's not really going to do anything except get you banned off of Robinhood for day trading.
Yeah, because even if you put in a couple $100 and you're selling for an extra 10 cents per coin, sure, yes, that is plenty more money than what you put in for it. But if you just wait, though, because it inevitably will go up.
I guess what we're trying to say is don't be a jackwagon with your money.
Yeah.
Your money is worth a lot, no matter how much of it you have, because that money can get you the things that you need. Don't get caught up in hype. Once again, we are not financial people. This is not advice. This is just two people ranting.
I'll just make fun of you if you go and get a game that's easily found, and you're getting an opened copy rated.
And she'll do it to your face, too.
No,
I've seen it. But, yeah, no, video games in general, like, you know, just like the entire internet's in a very weird place right now, because it almost seems like a lot of people, and this is once again just online, because I'm sure it's just a very, very loud minority, but a lot of people seem like they have video games as a hobby to try to make a living out of it.
yeah, it's not playing games, it's just buying and selling the games. It's like, don't do that. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, if at this point, I wouldn't even say start a game store.
Yeah, no, I mean, some of those guys, like, act like they're gonna do that, but they have no idea. We don't have a game store, but we know the kind of stuff that needs to go into it.
Yeah,
Small
exactly.
businesses are, hard when you have a physical location.
Well, yeah, let me give an example. Okay, so say that you're looking for stuff for your collection. You know, you buy a game lot because there's 3 games you want. There's 40 others you bought in the lot for a decent price. You probably want to offload a lot of them,
Sure.
especially if you have them. So let's leave it this way: you spend $100 on the game lot, and then you make.
Here, look what the guy says.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. And you just say, beep, beep.
1, 2, skidoo.
Yeah.
Wait, that's cool. Okay, so anyway, so I was saying you spend $100 and then you make, $300 off it. That's a $200 profit off of, say, 35 of the 40 games you sell. You make that much money.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad if those were just sitting in your back room or whatever and then you offload them like that. But that being said, if you own a store, how far is $200 really gonna get you?
It's gonna get you the electricity for the month.
No.
Not
it won't.
not at the store. Okay, so maybe for like the week. And that would be, so, yeah, like, people don't factor that in. They're like, oh, well, I was able to flip these games. And it's like, yes, you have to do that every day now. Every single day. And they'll be like, oh, well, I drive around and I do all this stuff every day. And it's like, yes, you're not constantly making money, though, are you?
Well, that's the one advantage to having the brick-and-mortar store is that people come to you.
Yes, that makes it easier.
But see, the whole
Because even
problem
people
with that...
like, eBay stores, they're not always selling stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've
They
seen...
say that they do, but they're not.
Yeah, I mean...
we can literally look at their sale records.
I mean, also, we've seen people try to mitigate the type of stuff. Like, I'm trying to remember the store. I can't remember.
That one in New York?
You know what? Here, I'm just going to use this bookstore as an example, because I'm sure there's video game stores that do it. So look at it this way. Like, you say you have a copy of,
What are those cats doing?
I have no idea. So say you got a copy of Fire... Hey!
What are they doing? Where are they? They're making like stuff.
Sorry, guys.
The cats are
Moon's
being crazy.
haunted.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I'm saying with that is, so say you open your store, you have a copy of Fire Emblem, and that goes for almost $300 right now. It's a $300 game.
Yes.
Someone comes in and they trade in a bunch of crappy games, but they trade in like 600 of them. You give them 50 cents a piece, but they have $300 in store credit. Unfortunately, right now, you are now stuck with 600 games that no one wants, and you had to give them your copy of Fire Emblem with it. So there was a bookstore one time where we were offloading a bunch of books, and the woman told us, oh yeah, we give you cover price in store credit for it.
Sure, we're like,
so we
wow,
give her,
that sounds great.
We give her everything, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna pick out some books. She rings them up and says, okay, and with your $10 or 10% discount, we're like, wait, hold on one second, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, that's how our store credit works. So you trade stuff in, and then we take the full value off of your store credit, and then give you a 10% discount on your books. And then she said, well, we're not a library, we have to make money. And we were like, you just stole our books and put them in the back room as soon as we were done.
Yeah.
So needless to say, we said, you can keep those books, they sucked anyway.
I don't know if we said that. But
I was thinking it.
In so many
You had
words,
to be thinking it.
In so many words, we're like, well, you know, I hope this place burns to the ground because we're not running a
She was
legitimate
only
business.
open for about another month after that.
That was ridiculous. I mean, that's a very extreme example, but
But it's true, though. It's like,
yes,
it's true.
it's-
Like, I didn't
No, I
like,
know it's real.
embellish any of
happened
it.
to us. Oh my God, Brandon, I am aware of that. I'm saying in comparison to a game store because the game store can refuse to take your crappy $1 sports games. They don't even have to give you 1 cent for it. They can just refuse it because they would probably rather have the shelf space for something better, Brandon.
Well, I mean, put it this way. What about the dude at the one store we went to near Asbury Park that, we gave him, like, 3 games, and he's like, oh, I'll give you this much for it. And we were like...
Okay, what if I take this one out?
And then he literally said, oh, I don't do that. And it's like, oh, okay, then.
Yeah. I'm glad that we didn't trade that in because one of those games was... Actually, I think we had Luigi's Mansion and Mario Party 7.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like, the dude tried saying, like, oh, well, this one's scratched. And it's like, I mean, it's not.
It's not, but yeah.
So, yeah, we haven't gone back there either. I don't know if that guy survived. I don't know if his shop survived the pandemic or not, but whatever.
Well, I think most of these guys, if they weren't already selling online, they need to be selling online, but...
No, I agree, but the whole thing is, like, that's just what it is, and it's like... We rarely ever find, like, game stores where we're like, this is great. And I'm not even saying, like, oh, yeah, we got all these games for,
what do we got
$1
here?
a piece.
Yeah, like 90% off or something. No, it's not even like that.
We should just kill you, but what the hell? It's been a boring day. Let's see what you got.
3, 2, 1, go!
She's finally doing something.
Yeah. Man, you're like killing it. Wow, that was a tangent we got on
I
to.
know. Because it's usually just me and you talking.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that we haven't done like a podcast, so we literally have like, so we haven't done really anything. So we have months of material to talk about. We barely scratched the surface. We talked about Flash, the old internet, and being mad at people that are bad with their money. I shouldn't say it like that, though. It's not exactly
irresponsible. And they have, I guess it's some sort of pride or something because they think that they're smarter than they actually are. With, oh, well, if I just wait for this amount of time, it's like, but why do that? Why?
Do you really want to hit the nuclear option and talk about retro video game influencers? Not this time. We don't. We're almost done with this playthrough. So.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the game since we're just about all the way through. So, all in all, like, what do you like about it?
He's gonna say something.
Okay, yeah, we'll
This
shut
one
up
has
for a second.
fully-ish voice-acted dialogue.
So we'll let them talk. I'll pause the.
Pretty tight bars for a little dude who's simping over an ugly, boring little teenager that wears her mom's clothes.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, and we're back. All right, so what do you think about the game so far? Like, what do you like about it? What do you think could be improved? Let's go with that.
I'm not sure. I like the game though. What could be improved? Yeah, I mean, I guess having different options for the... Because right now you have the set amount of things. But I mean, like I said, I look at the Kickstarter. They outlined so many things that would definitely add a lot of content to it. One of the things is being able to put in your own MP3s.
I guess it would be a little bit gratuitous to complain about stuff right now.
I don't really have anything to complain about. I'm playing the game, and it's a rhythm game. It's basically a step A type of game.
That would be cool if it was kind of like Beat Hazard.
Yeah, I do like Beat Hazard, but that's a different kind of... That's kind of a rhythm game. It's more of a shmup, though.
Yeah, it's more the fact that it's like it gets harder based off the song.
Yeah, that's why I usually do like the songs.
You see, the funny thing is, like, what actually makes the game harder is playing slower and softer songs because your weapons become more powerful based off of how loud the music is.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe we should play Beat Hazard.
We would have to find non-licensed music.
No, we can still play. We're just gonna be able to export it. We can play off of the radio. You know there's a radio on there.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need to have the MP3 file.
No, it literally plays radio. Like, you would pick a station. I played this before. I have Beat Hazard on Steam.
Oh.
Remember? Yes, I have Beat Hazard on Steam. And you can put your own songs on there. And now you're doing that. You can put your own songs on there. Or you can use the radio option where you can go and pick a station. So you can pick, like, electronica, 80s, 90s, 2000s, top 40s, whatever you want. And it's funny because you can even play through the commercials.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, I just don't know what Twitch's policy is. Like, I just don't want them to, like, mute the stream.
It'll be fine, Brandon. Trust me,
God
it'll be okay.
effing damn it. Well played, you little shit.
On
But this
YouTube!
is war.
On
And in
YouTube,
war,
and it's because
people
of the
die.
stupid Game Awards.
Man, get rid of the fire.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We want to
no
talk about
prop for you
regrets
this
and
year.
things we wish we never did.
Yeah, it was a lot of wasted time.
Look who it is, your sexually ambiguous, angry little friend. Don't you have a school to shoot up? There's one way to settle this. Let's rock, you little cunt. You little cunts.
3, 2, 1, go!
Just shooting you guys in the background. Yeah, I was thinking, one good thing we put a camera over my hands so that they can see how to, how you gotta press all this stuff. Like, if you ever watch those videos where the guys are doing the, what's it called? Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Or the drums. You gotta help me out right now. I can't think of the words.
Rock band.
No. With the two sticks, we literally have the game. There's one of the drums on the floor right now. Go and look at it. What is the game called?
Taiko no Tsujin?
Taiko Drum Master, yes. Sorry, Brandon, when I'm doing these rhythm games, I gotta pay attention, and all I'm thinking about is the arrows, so I can't think of stuff. Let that play, because it's actually yeah. Mutual respect.
All right. Simplicity of the game is like the most exciting thing I've seen in a good while.
Because it's not a game that's like, we're literally promising you some sort of ridiculous 3D Omega engine supported blah blah blah. It's not No Man's Sky. It's not Cyberpunk.
It's not the Cyber Matrix PC.
Yeah. I think that's why people like stuff like this, that it's more simplified and you're literally just adding more content to it. But yeah, if you go to the Kickstarter, so we'll do that. I feel like it gets stuck in like a loop and then it only plays this, because then I can't like, okay, there it goes. At least that's what was happening on my computer. So we'll go to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I would like to see the tier so I can get the vinyl.
Yeah, so look, we got this right here. And look, they're almost at 1.7 million, and they only wanted 60,000 to begin with. 14 days to go. And, so yeah, see, it says it's a rhythm game that doubles as a playable cartoon. You got all that. So for $20, you can, when the game does come out, you get the digital copy. And for 35. Oh. Okay, then I was gonna say there's the vinyl. It's 46.
It's not bad, and you get all the previous tiers, right?
Besides, like, the other physical things.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get your name and credits, art book, digital art book, and digital copy. And then for $50 you get a t-shirt, and then you get to pick which one you want. And then here's a bunch of physical stuff altogether for $65. Probably should just do this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because you and I can just split this one. But look, I feel like this is like some sort of like, oh, you just have so much money and you want to support it because you literally just get a wallpaper. No previous awards. You don't even get the game. For 9,900 and 2 people backed it.
Wait, so for 10,000?
And then for 10,000 it says they'll call you and tell you that you suck. But you at least get the game. One person picked that. The fact that 2 people picked the one that's literally just like a joke one where you get a digital wallpaper. But yeah, so then,
Do you think the digital wallpaper also just says you're an idiot or something?
On a Friday night yet.
But yeah, so this is the stuff that they definitely want to add in. So they got like the 20 new weeks. So that's 60 songs because they do 3 songs each. Per week. And then cutscenes in between. So week 7 took an attorney thanks to a in-game cutscene. And it's literally just, Tank Man talking and stuff like that. 2-player playable characters, so you can swap out the people online leaderboards, mods. But yeah, so here's where they're at right now. They're actually past this one, which is erect difficulty, so harder than hard. And then the next one is another 10 extra weeks, and that would be like an epilogue. But then, if you scroll down even further, a PlayStation 1 port, they paid like $3 million. I would really hope that they get to that. It says they'll sell physical copies even if it's at a loss, because it would just be too sick.
I don't see how they're gonna lose money after making $3 million.
It might be a thing where, like, they might then send that out to every backer, even if you only pledged, like, $10 or something. Well, I'm thinking the reason why they would pick PS1 is because there's still those, like, black PS1 discs, because remember, Marilyn Manson's more recent, well, one of the more recent albums is on that. Yeah, and there's a cell animation, like, anime for $4 million. And then this is one of the other, like, Flash games you can play, Pico School.
Yeah.
So then that's for $5 million. It's like, Nightmare AU? $10 million? That would be interesting if they did that, where, like, the boyfriend's, like an evil demon or something, and she's, like, an angel or something. That's what I would guess would be the Nightmare universe. But yeah, and then you can find out stuff about the guys that were working on this, and all the people that helped. And, this is the guy that made Newgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
It says Tom Fulp after repeatedly losing a week to unnormal difficulty. But no, it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the highest tier. And then you have stuff that's already gone. So they had a like an early bird thing. Instead of $20, it's $15. You get the digital. And then all the stickers and stuff that's sold out too. So they had like exclusive stickers like from back in the day, like early Newgrounds. Same thing with this Tank Man statue. Yeah, they're gonna make a figure for the boyfriend that's gone. And then you could have gotten a hand-drawn, like, personal illustration. I'm guessing you could say what you want.
Yourself in the background.
Yeah.
That's usually, like, the fastest one to go.
Yeah.
Like in Bloodstained, all the
Oh, the
portraits that
portraits, yeah.
attack you and they
Yeah.
have pictures.
There's
and
so
backers on
many
it.
portraits.
I
in that
know.
game.
Friday night yet.
Originally, that was supposed to be more of a rare enemy, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so we definitely enjoy the game, and we hope that it'd be really cool to have that PS1 copy.
I know, right? Like, collectors groups are gonna go nuts.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I've never heard of this, but I'm gonna go and try and get like 100 copies of it. Jerks. Alright, well, I think that's probably it for today, right?
Yep, I think we've
Ranted
apparently pissed enough people off. So hey, for next time, I actually kind of like the rant model. Maybe we'll try that more.
Well, I'll play the games and you can do your ranting because usually I'm the one who does all the talking.
You know what really grinds my gears? And also, that's not true because I had to explain a lot of stuff about Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, you did because I had never played past like the very first area because it was just very difficult for me.
That's like you finding out how much I, for some reason, know about the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, when we were watching, so yeah, if you haven't watched the new Mortal Kombat movie, you should watch it because it's actually pretty good. At least for what it is, which is a video game adaptation. But yeah, Brandon knows a lot about Mortal Kombat, and you would not expect that.
Because I barely ever play.
Yeah. I mean, I like the characters and stuff like that, but I am not good at fighting games, so I just don't really know too much about the, in quotes, story and lore of these fighting games.
I mean, it's got a pretty extended lore.
Yeah, because that one's, you know, saving the Earth realm and whatnot.
There are like 7 different realms.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, guys, see you later. Thanks for checking us out and everything. Summer's coming up.
Yeah, so we're gonna
lightly expect stuff.
Yeah, oh, I lost it.